Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining me once again on this Reverse Recruitment 0% Growths LTC. Today, we tackle a notorious difficulty spike. 3-6 puts us back in control of our army from Part 1. Most of it, anyway. Since it is shrouded in fog of war, we'll want to illuminate our surroundings pronto. Laron can use the newly purchased Torch Staff to accomplish that. Our goal is to do battle with the horde of beast Laguz attempting to cross the river, and ultimately defeat 46 of them. This is a difficult task for a myriad of reasons. Critically, most of our best combat units have left us. Soniki, Skrimir, Naesala, Tanith, and the Black Knight have all scattered to the far corners of Pelleas. This leaves us with precious few units who can take more than a round or two of combat with transformed enemies. In spite of this, we have some new tools to give us a fighting chance. Running is now the proud owner of one Amidi, a 15 might sword with the Brave effect that boosts his defense and resistance by 3 points. It replaces the special axe normally given to no one, and it is locked into Running's inventory. If you're thinking to yourself, "Self? Isn't that Alencia's sword?" Then you're half right. Amidi is the sword of the Crimean royal family, and since Running is Alencia's uncle, he qualifies. He is capable of wielding the sword even in vanilla, there's just no way to give it to him. We are supported by 5 friendly day and partner units on this map. Gifka shoves the sniper into range of an untransformed tiger. These allies have significantly better stats than our own Bayork units, but we can't control their movements very well. We appreciate their help regardless. Bastian and Pelleas have unlocked a sea support, which is most notable for the extra attack point that comes from Pelleas' water affinity. The ally army consists of 3 halberdiers, 1 sniper, and 1 bishop. We like the bishop. His name is Pelleas. Did you hear that? The enemy phase fanfare is the same as the player phase fanfare of Ike's party. It's a neat little detail that reinforces the idea that our reason to fight here is questionable. Keep an ear out for those fanfares as Part 3 progresses. The dominant feature of this map is the river that slows everyone down. Untransformed Laguz normally move 7 spaces, but river tiles cost them 3 per tile. Transformed Beast Laguz require 5 move per river tile, perhaps because they are lower to the ground. This means enemies can only move 2 or 1 river tiles respectively, though they may still be able to move across plains or thickets afterward. Because of these movement restrictions, the right side of the map tends to funnel enemies through a 1 tile wide choke point. This is where we'll devote a minority of our player-controlled resources. The Pelleas Brigade will help take some of the pressure off of Stefan and Renning, both of whom are quite frail by now. Gareth helps improve their otherwise measly damage output. Believe it or not, we need some chip damage from Laron here. Nasir is positioned to provide white pool to both him and Pelleas, who will join forces to kill that cat. Pelleas deals the finishing blow because we want to maximize his experience gain. It's difficult to feed him kills on enemy phase without risking death. Caineghis can't move very far forward this turn, so he uses a torch item to bolster the team's vision range. The rest of the turn is rather uneventful as we move our remaining units around. Tibarn had no chance of death on the previous turn, but he could be at very low HP right now. He'll take a step back to heal and prepare to head to the right side group. The Pelleas Brigade claims another kill. They even guard Stefan for us. In the base conversations prior to this chapter, the game gives us 5 high-value items. One of them, a Master Crown, is the same in both Reverse Recruitment and in Vanilla. However, the other 4 would not make sense for us to receive, since none of our units can wield Tarvos, Lugnasad, Kaladbolg, or the Brave Axe. Because of this, Sal changed the items to a Meaty, a White Gem, a Laguz Gem, and a Resolve Scroll, which is currently equipped by Caineghis. The gems sell for a combined 47,500 gold. Don't worry, we'll find ways to spend that. At long last, the ace up our sleeve is revealed. Beastfoe Caineghis. Harken back to 1-4 and you'll remember that Volk picked up the Beastfoe scroll on the map's final turn. It transformed Caineghis' S-rank Great Fang weapon from a 17 might chomper into a 51 might doomsday device against opposing beasts. With it, Caineghis has 71 total attack, enough to one-shot any enemy that picks a fight with him. As long as we can funnel transformed enemies into him, Caineghis will be our most efficient unit at racking up kills on enemy phase. Meanwhile, on the right side, we struggle to kill even a single enemy. Renning would be able to take down untransformed enemies with the Amidi and Bloodtide, but as a paladin, he and his horse can't move on to river tiles. They also cannot be shoved into the river. Believe me, I tried with transformed Gareth. The hidden item on this tile has been changed from a brave bow to a sleep staff. The reason is fairly obvious. This army has no archers. Well, I say that, and then the Pelleas Brigade sniper has to go and be all pedantic about it. We still couldn't give him the brave bow. Imagine. Rest in peace, Pelleas Brigade Halberdier. You'll be missed. Especially by Stefan. He really misses you right about now. Here we see the give and take of enemy transformations. Untransformed Laguz cannot initiate combat, so we can't kill them on enemy phase. The trade-off is that they become sitting ducks on player phase. Good job, Stefan. That'll teach him. Okay, right side team Voot Puddle. We need to take down a single tiger at slightly above half HP. What have we got? Gareth, okay, good positioning. I like the initiative. Tibarn, I need you to capitalize here, buddy. Buddy? Okay, not bad. You're looking a little worse for wear, though. Yeah, that way. That's where the healers are. Go on. Don't be shy. Alright, Gifka, it's been a while. Let's see those stats. Okay, we have 8 strength. That'll double up to 16. You've got 12 might in your weapon. How about enemy defense? 18, okay, plus 13 HP. We need 31 attack. 16, plus 12, plus another 5 from Gareth. 33. Yeah, you've got this. Don't mess up. Well, that took a lot of effort. Volk has a few spare turns here he could use to keep fishing for the sleep staff if he needed to. The rest of our units are going to set up a formation designed to make Caineghis the only possible target on enemy phase. Pelleas will begin the process by removing this speed bump. Eventually. It's time for Kurthnaga to fly forward and use our first Shine Barrier. These items are the same as light runes from GBA Fire Emblem titles. Using one renders a tile impassable for 5 turns. With our formation here, the Shine Barrier we have placed allows Kurth to boost Caineghis' defense without drawing enemy attention. Pelleas will still be in range of an enemy tiger, but he can take 1 hit. Notice how Laron can't use Physic on Tibarn from here? The Physic staff can heal allies within a radius equal to half your magic stat, rounded down. So Laron's normal Physic range is 2 tiles. Standing next to Nasir bumps that up to 5. Okay, sure. Make half of our team look bad, why don't you? Ah, thanks, Pelleas. Strangely, that tiger attacked Caineghis over Pelleas despite the latter's weaker bulk. We would have preferred to give the experience to Pelleas, and I'll bet there was an alternative formation that would have allowed for that. Progress is painfully slow on the right side. The stats of transformed enemies are simply higher than those of our own units. Generic enemy tigers are bulkier than Caineghis, which makes them difficult to whittle down for anyone besides Pelleas or Caineghis himself. Bastian could have one-shot them with a forged fire tome and white pool, but I didn't actually think to buy one in part 1. Looking back, that could have been a huge improvement. After his attack, Tibarn was able to Kanto within Laron's 5-tile Physic range. In most circumstances, Caineghis would also need to be conscious of his health here. We got a lucky dodge against that last tiger, but we'll pretend that he didn't and use a healing item anyway. Well. How about that inventory on Pelleas? What reason could he have for carrying around all those items? In any case, Nasir needs to hand him a Shine Bearer to make sure he stays safe during the next enemy phase. There are 3 enemies incoming, and Pelleas can't risk eating that many hits. Back at the choke point, right side gang is going to reposition Pelleas' sniper buddy. We're going to let the halberdiers plug the gap. They'll kill the nearest untransformed tiger without Stefan's help, so he's free to make sure the lights stay on. Once again, Pelleas has our back. Caineghis gets hit by 3 tigers during this enemy phase. His base defense of 16 is boosted to 23 by the combination of Night Tide and Laron's A support. These bonuses reduce his damage taken this turn by 21, and he'll live with 20 HP remaining. So his defense needs one of the 2 buffs, but not necessarily both. Hello there! The timely appearance of the Black Knight is just what the doctor ordered. We give him a lance because it's funny, and not because I thought it would help with something later on or anything like that. Funny only. At this point, we're on turn 6 and we're only halfway to our objective, so we dearly want to speed up the process of getting the Black Knight into the fray. To that end, Renning and Gifka spring into action. With the Black Knight now in play, every other nearby unit is just a liability. We want to direct the Pelleas brigade to retreat, but we can't simply leave the choke point open, or the Laguz will run amok. Instead, Gareth picks up a halberdier so that Tibarn can block the way. How he does that while flying is something I won't pretend to understand. Our more effective squad is getting close to the top of the map. This is one of the regions where reinforcements spawn in. Caineghis will take out an enemy cat, and also provide vision of several more enemies. It turns out he never really needed that resolve skill, so I expect it would be better used by someone else. If he had a forged fire tome, Bastian would appreciate the extra skill and speed, even if it would be tough for him to dip below half HP without dying outright. Kurtnaga engages an untransformed cat Laguz. This particular enemy does not move for some reason, so we have to move to him. The rest of this patch of land is safe for the time being, so we get ready to intercept the next wave. Hey, Stefan. Torch? Torch. Tibarn has 34 skill, so his chance of activating the device is pretty decent. So, earlier you may have noticed that I skipped past some dialogue. In vanilla, if you work your way up the right side, you can eventually find Leaf and Mordecai, one of whom was involved in said dialogue. Here, that means you could presumably fight Shinon and Gatry. I wonder what their inventories look like. Safety save. Eclipse is total overkill. It quintuples damage and nullifies defense. Stefan forces this tiger into combat to deplete his Laguz gauge. Afterward, Tibarn can finish him off. In case it wasn't already extremely obvious, this map is difficult and complex. While I was able to put together a general strategy and plan a lot in advance, a decent chunk of the map was played by ear. It's just not practical to rehearse all of the possible scenarios when your combat outcomes can vary and diverge over the course of many turns. This results in slower, less confident play. Now, I'm not pressuring myself to produce something in the style of Don 151's LTCs, where inputs are played back by a program to make each turn super snappy. But I do want to acknowledge when the viewing experience gets drawn out by slow decision making, and thank you all for bearing with me. Thankfully, we are crawling slowly but surely toward the end. We just need to push forward a little further to make sure we can fight enough enemies. Since these reinforcing cats are untransformed, even units like Nasir and Bastian can start to contribute meaningful damage. I should have known this enemy would be here, but I guess I forgot. Nothing to do but keep pressing forward and see if things pan out. Right side, gang, hit the showers. Your work here is done. By this point, you pretty much know the drill by now when it comes to enemy phases. I'm going to take a rest. You know, for a unit who joined in the very first chapter, Nasir took that like a champ. Dawn of the 8th turn. 9 enemies remain, 3 of which are within reach of the northern squad. Caineghis has the easiest job, and Pelleas can also claim a simple victory over the cat in the river. He ends up just shy of level 9. We have 4 units in range of the next cat. Even if Bastian misses, we have contingencies. Caineghis takes Pelleas' weapon away before finishing off the cat. It sure would be a shame if he were left defenseless while someone stole all of his valuables. This tiger is out of reach. Kurth could not have defeated him. The final ingredient is to have Tibarn shove the Black Knight forward. This gets him across an otherwise costly river tile, and lets him step into range of several enemies obscured by the fog. Thankfully, From here on out, our victory is guaranteed. The Black Knight will fight enough enemies to complete our objective, finishing 3-6 in 8 turns. I do think there is room for a lot of improvement, and possibly a turn save, but 8 is good enough for me right now. It certainly wasn't easy. Join me next time for another Q&A session set to the backdrop of a turn-forward map. Take care, everyone.